Today we're going to be rating my subscribers' altcoins. We're going to be putting them on an altcoin tier list anywhere from S to D, D obviously being the worst and S being the best. We're going to provide you one pro and one con for investing in some of these altcoins. And it would really help me if you leave some of your altcoins in the comment section down below, or just let me know where I messed up on some of these altcoin ratings. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, first up on the list is from Damon Bonner, and he has provided us with Filecoin today. Now, Filecoin is a cloud storage network that stores your data, and you can use this platform from anywhere across the globe, of course. It's also a first mover in the space. I think it came out in around 2018. Don't quote me on that. But it allows for large amounts of data storage, and it uses your cloud storage and your extra storage that you have on your computer device if you decide to provide that storage. Now, one of the pros is that it's useful because instead of building out your own data center and housing all of these machines, you can use something like Filecoin instead if you didn't want to build out your own data center. It's also a top 100 coin, so it's also pretty safe. Relative, right? Safe. We're in crypto, guys. Let's be very clear about that. Nothing is guaranteed in this space. It's a great use case, but it hasn't really had the attention yet. So because of this, one of my first cons for Filecoin is that the chart is pretty beaten and battered. You can see its hype cycle here in 2021, and we've kind of tethered and feathered off since then. It's also in a pretty boring narrative. It's data storage. This is more for things like business owners and entrepreneurs, and isn't really that hot of a narrative when it comes to retail, which is actually a negative thing for Filecoin. And I definitely see us battling with our prior all-time highs because there's more dilution out for this particular altcoin. So with all that being said, where Filecoin currently stands, I'm gonna have to put it in the C category. I think that the use case and what it provides is extremely useful, and we're going to need it one day for sure when the world completely transitions over to blockchain, and for when more people want alternative options when it comes to cloud storage. They're going to look to something like Filecoin, but I have to put it in a C category as of right now. Next altcoin on the list is Talbot, and this is from Declear. Now, as you can see on Talbot's website, that this is just pretty much a front end for BitTensor. You can invest in different subnets and also trade different assets back and forth on the Tau network using something like Talbot. So it just provides you an easier way into the Tau ecosystem that can sometimes be complicated for a new user, as they try to detail out here on the site. I like that. You can see the swap down here. Trade your Tau for any of the other subnet tokens. Now, Tau being one of the highest regarded projects in crypto, it's another fair launch token, and it's also been compared to Bitcoin a lot over the years. It's definitely tied itself to a pretty strong narrative for the long haul. Now, one of the things I really didn't like about this token is that the trading volume is extremely low. That means a lot of people are not using it, and there's a key reason why a lot of people are not using Talbot. And this is because you can do most of the things that Talbot is offering on Tau Stats, which is directly connected to BitTensor. So it kind of defeats the purpose of using something like Talbot on the front end, where you can just go through Tau Stats yourself and do some of this research and find some of these subnet tokens that you want to invest in. So for me, I put Talbot, and this is crazy because this is the first D, unfortunately, that I've ever done, or that I've ever given in one of these token tier list videos, and it has to go to Talbot, a D plus overall, just because it isn't irreplaceable, and it's already a use case directly related to Tau that you can do most of the stuff that this is offering on. So you don't really need Talbot, I'm so sorry to say. Next altcoin on the altcoin tier list is Pendle, and this is from Nico. Now, on Pendle, it offers fixed yield, so it's pretty much a yield generation platform, and you can do different stable coins on here and earn a fixed yield through their AMM, which is pretty much your auto market maker. And this is how it's able to balance out so that you can earn these fixed yields, because as we all know, yields go up and down depending on market demand and supply. But on here, they're offering fixed yields, kind of good because you can throw a certain amount of money in and you know you're pretty much going to get that return back. Now, it's also cross-compatible across Ethereum, Arbitrum, BNB, and Optimism, which is actually pretty cool as well. And on their site, it just explains some of the core features and pieces of technology that they use to keep yields fixed. Trusted by Hashkey, Crypto.com, which is actually really good, really big platforms there, and also Binance Labs, which is a big one, which is very nice to see. Now, unfortunately for Pendle, it is a one-trick pony. They offer one key thing, but I actually rather that they focus on one key thing and perfect it versus doing a bunch of other random things and they come out mediocre. So you can call it a con, but for me, it's kind of a con because I do like to see assets like this have multiple use cases because there's already so much competition when it comes to getting stablecoin yield. So with that being said, I'm going to put Pendle in the B tier. The next altcoin on this altcoin tier list comes from Robert Del Pino. And today he's brought us ICP. Now ICP is exactly how it sounds. It's the internet computer. It's the everything computer. It can do everything. You can build dApps on it. You can build Web3 gaming. You can do Web3 social. You can build ledgers. You can build multi-chain apps. You can build anything you want. DeFi, AI modules. You can do absolutely everything in one place, on one network, on one platform. ICP is literally the most ambitious token that we have in crypto, bar none. Amazing, amazing, amazing tech. I can't stress that enough. Now, unfortunately, one of the cons about ICP is that it has no users. Now, when I say no users, I don't literally mean 0 users, but I mean it's lacking a vibrant user base and people using this technology because it has everything built out and now it's just waiting for people to come. It's in a similar situation to Cardano in the sense that Cardano has amazing tech. It's the most decentralized platform that we have in crypto, but it just doesn't have users yet. Not to mention ICP is also extremely centralized, which is why it has scaling capabilities. It can scale very easily and house all of these applications on its network because it is centralized. And that for me is a con. Now, if I'm being 100% completely honest, to me, ICP should be in the S tier when it comes to tech. But if I'm being completely honest, because it has no real user base, I would have to put ICP in the B category, unfortunately. But very easily, if it had users, or at least hopefully it's not over for ICP, I guess it can eventually gain some user base, but that would definitely take it up to the A or the S tier. The next altcoin on the altcoin tier list is from Zachary Bambico, and today he's brought us XCN. Onyx. Now, if you've never heard of this token, Onyx is a modular blockchain. It's designed for banking, securities, and payment applications, obviously cross-border. Sounds like XRP, pretty similar to XRP. Now, if I didn't mention it before, it's obviously a blockchain, and it's also available to buy on a lot of the biggest exchanges, which is another pro for Onyx Coin. Now, Coinbase, KuCoin, Kraken, Bybit, Gate.io, Binance, BitGet. Like, it can literally buy this thing on almost any platform. Not to mention there's a couple other cool features as far as having its own wallet, of course, and also its own AI agent. So it's checking off the boxes for a lot of the hottest narratives in this cycle. So I think that is one of the plus for something like Onyx Coin for sure. Now, one of the cons is Onyx Coin's chart and their tokenomics. They have been absolutely beaten and battered because they've already had a hype cycle in 2022. Now, looking at the chart, it kind of flatlined over the past couple of years and it barely made a dent on its way back up to its prior all-time highs. Obviously, this bull cycle isn't over yet, so there's still a lot of time. We hadn't even broken into a full-blown altcoin season yet, so there's time for it to reclaim its prior all-time highs. And honestly, where it sits at, there isn't a lot of dilution left for Onyx Coin, and it has over $50 million in trading volume, which is also another key. So not bad at all, but also not my favorite chart to look at. Now, with that being said, there is a lot of potential for Onyx Coin. I think it can do very well this cycle. Unfortunately, though, at the current state and looking at the chart, I can't put it as high as I really want to because I do like the use case for it. And I feel like I'm being a little bit strict on this video. I hadn't put anything in the A category or S category, and usually I do, but I honestly keep it at a B minus. I think that's a fair spot for Onyx Coin, behind Pendle and ICP, but above Filecoin. Now, I want to go ahead and ask you if I've missed any tokens that you think should have been on this list. Drop them in the comment section below. Or do you think I should have maybe put ICP higher? I feel like people are going to want ICP maybe in the A or S tier, but this is the tier list. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.